Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tyria then. We are now on episode 36, and I am Aaron. With me, as always, is Miko. Welcome to the show.
Wow, thank you, Aaron. You didn't. This is the first time you haven't called yourself Aaron in
Yeah,
the
that's
intro.
the intro that I should have been doing for 35 episodes, and we've only just now figured out how to do it efficiently and directly without messing up. So we'll see, we'll see if we get that again next episode. My money is on no.
Yeah, it's all right.
This is a Guild Wars show, isn't it?
It is. We are talking about Tyria as it was then.
Yeah, we could have called this Tyria Talk. We could have called this. I don't actually know what else we could have called this. What was the one we came up with a couple episodes ago? Planet Tyria. I still wish we had called it that. Planet Tyria is great.
Yeah.
Planet Tyria is Koss's nightclub chain. Uh,
Yeah, that's good.
tell me I'm wrong.
I
Um,
know. No, you're not. I think you're right.
Miko, where did we leave off before we went and did all those side quests last episode? Where were we in the Guild Wars Nightfall storyline?
And we were in episode 34. We had picked up some quests that uh, took us to meet Zed Shadowhoof, the centaur, to get him on our side. And he wanted us to help him free his what is it called? Pride leader. Yeah,
His
that's what
his,
it's
his
called, right?
centaur friends.
His centaur friends, yeah, Mirza Veldrunner, because he's of the Veldrunner tribe of centaurs, and so we needed to go and free them because they were being held hostage on the Dejarin estate by the Cornan soldiers, or AKA Varish's boys.
Varish's boys, as they're known. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. We being held on the Dejarin estate that we somewhat dissonantly, like semi-liberated, like 1/8 liberated in a whole quest chain that didn't actually go as far as I was hoping it would.
Right,
Uh,
right. And that would be Koss's old home, which is now owned by Varish because they went and took it over.
yes. And last episode we went and kind of mowed the lawn of side quests,
Yeah.
and the Mirza Veldrunner side quest chain is kind of buggy, and so we didn't realize there was more there. Um,
Yes.
don't worry about it, guys. We did them this episode.
Yeah. Not all of them though, because only half of them unlocked while we were still pre-Vobby.
Yeah, we gotta like come back later. How many people do you think come back later?
I don't know.
Probably none.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll be the first.
I mean, somebody did to put it all on the wiki, but
This
you
is
know,
true. This
like
is true.
who comes back to the ancestor tree in Turai's procession after doing a mission like halfway through the Vabi storyline? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you're like running out of content and you want stuff to do, maybe you would do that.
Yeah, I bet people found this while vanquishing, but
Yeah, that's good. True.
yeah, so we started these quests for Mirrors of Eldrunner this episode, and then don't worry, guys, because we also advanced the main plot of the game this episode. So
We did.
we did some primaries, we did some missions. Um,
We were trying to be efficient.
yeah, we did. We went back to the good old mix, the good old mix of side quest content and main quest content.
Mhm.
Miko, have you ever heard of or seen the anime Demon Slayer?
Yeah.
That's me. I'm him now after this episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I did some demon slaying, and now I'm that guy from that anime that I've never seen. Um,
Excellent.
yes. So, what basically happened was last episode we did this one quest for Zed Shadowhoof, and he was like, "Go talk to Mirza," and we were like, "Cool." And then we went and talked to Mirza over by the ancestor tree out in the middle of Korna. It's a big old tree. It's pretty cool, actually, as a
Mhm.
thumbnail for
It
last
is.
episode.
Yeah.
In retrospect, poor thumbnail choice on our part.
We were like, hey,
Uh,
it looks cool.
yeah, we picked it purely because it looks awesome.
Hmm.
And he was like, "Hey, I've got some quests for you," and then he had no follow up for us. So little did we know
Yeah.
we were supposed to rezone to get those quests, and we did that this episode. And what did Mirza want with us? What was up?
Mirza is being harassed by the Cornins. They're planning to take them hostage again or make them slaves again because they're centaurs. and Mirza's like, no, we're free. Screw you guys. And so he's like, hey, you two legs, you seemed like you were trustworthy somewhat because I trust you. Let me see if I trust you. Help us. And then the Cornins show up and we've got to help defend his tribe.
Yeah, because I want to say they're like yelling at each other when we show up.
Yep.
And then you can
Yep.
take this quest, and the
Mhm.
minute you press accept, the Cornins go hostile.
Yes.
But it's
Yes.
also a
And they
wave
come.
defense.
It is. It is. So this is a good use of flagging heroes so that they can, take care of some of the wave while you go and take care of the other
I
wave
I
if you're
did
running yourself.
Yeah, I did. I either died or almost died running back to solo hold off a wave while my heroes finished off defending Mirza, because one of the waves shows up from behind. Um,
Yeah.
and it was a pretty big one. So yeah, I had to kind of go sacrifice myself so that we could finish the quest that way. I'm getting really comfortable with doing this though, because my Dunkoro is set up with we've talked about
Unyielding
the
aura.
skill unyielding aura. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dying is no longer a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because instantly right back up.
Yeah. I ended up flagging Koss and Sasuke because Sasuke's got double dragon, and I was like, Sasuke's gonna take care of things. And they were doing fine until they got a big wave that was coming right at Mirza, and so all of a sudden I see that Sasuke dies, and I was like, ah, crap. And Koss, he held his own for quite a while until he died, and then Mirza started taking damage, and I had to basically wrap up the other group real quick and then go back to Mirza, get within range of Dunkoro or Talcoro or somebody going over to res the other two, and they got them back up, and then we won. It was fine.
Are you running like Defy Pain on Goss?
Yeah, I want to say yes.
I used to run that on my warrior. It's crazy
Mm-hmm.
how long you can hold out just by yourself, just getting hammered. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a tricky initial start to this quest chain.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought some of the quest dialogue was crazy. Actually, did you read some of this?
Yes.
So Mirza
Yeah.
says that Mirza says that they eat people.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. I've played Guild Wars
I didn't know.
for 20 years. I didn't know that the centaurs were cannibals. I mean, I guess they're not
Yeah.
cannibals because they're not humans, but they're like 30% human.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, he says if we fight with him and we win, his people get to survive and that they will feast on corn and flesh for months. That's a quote.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I know.
that's
I was
wild.
like, I know, yeah. And I wondered too, like, are you doing this just because you could do essentially a victory dance on the Cornins because you beat them, or because you really, really like human flesh?
Yeah, like is this a like for thousands of years they've just been like, I don't know, we eat people. It's not evil. It's just what we do, right?
Mm-hmm,
Or
mm-hmm.
is this like a no, we're eating the Cornins because we hate them that much?
Right,
Is
right.
this like a dancing
Is
on your
this-
grave type of thing?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, it's really dark there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And he also mentions that we smell of light and honor, and the Cornins smell of darkness and evil.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, that line.
That's an evolved nose, is what that is.
It really is. But I suppose that's like the animal nose,
Yeah, because
being able to scent things.
centaurs aren't like a Narnia centaur, where they're like
Right.
a person head. They're like a person torso and a horse body, and then
Mm-hmm.
like the head of something else entirely, like
Yeah.
a goat head almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say they're only like 30-ish% human.
Right.
So they're more on the animalistic side.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that we get light bringer points for completing these?
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna find out what Lightbringer points are, but right now my character's just like, thanks, don't know what that is.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally didn't notice that. I thought we only got Sunspear promotion points.
Yeah, we're killing demons, so we get like anything demon related tends to get you Lightbringer points.
Nice.
And my spoiler alert, guys, we split off in the main quest in
We
this
did.
episode. So Miko went one way, I went another, and I'm rolling with the Master of Whispers in my quest
Yeah.
chain, and he's all about demon killing.
Yes, he is.
And so we're gonna learn how that relates to Lightbringer points in the coming episodes.
Maybe that's why. 'Cause I don't think I got any Lightbringer points.
I think for the Centaur quest they give you Lightbringer points in these later ones. So maybe not these initial ones. I don't know if this quest gives us Lightbringer points, but in the last two where we're killing demons, we definitely get Lightbringer points.
Cool.
Yeah.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, and the next.
Oh yeah. I see it on the wiki. Yep.
Yeah, and the next
Well,
quest
great.
we have to do is annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Did you like
This
this
is the
quest?
Bushel of Trouble. So this is the Bushel of Trouble one. This is where we have to go and drop that seed on the. Is this the one where we are killing the? No.
This is the one where we have to go examine 10
This-
suspicious shrubs.
Suspicious shrubs. Yes. Yes, that
World
one.
of Warcraft ass quests.
Yeah, it was a lot of. It's basically half of them are just duds. They're just plants, and the other half spawn, deadly shrubs.
Did you read some of the dialogue on the dud plants?
Yes.
The blurbs are kind of, I don't remember a lot of it. One of them was like, this is a Tyrianicus philinaticus or some play on Tyria and Cantha.
Yeah.
Just like goofy stuff like that. The reason we have to do this is basically a follow-up to Milani's quest chain from Ronjok.
Yeah.
The centaurs also sense the corruption in the water and nature.
And in the land.
Yeah, in the land. This is almost more about the land than the water.
Yeah.
The centaurs notice it in nature and stuff, in the plants.
Right.
And he sends us off to talk to Yera Swiftsight, a centaur over in Sunward Marches. She's like a botanist, I guess.
Right.
I guess the centaurs are Tyria's leading botanists. Shout out to my man Ventari.
It was funny though, now that you mentioned Ventari, because this, not so much this one, although, well, no, this one, because this is the one with the suspicious shrubs. This gave me some, Heart of Thorns vibes. Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns.
Yeah, no, because we got they spawn little demon plant dudes. And now that I think about it, centaurs really are the leading experts in botany, because my man literally created an entire freed a race of plant people from an elder dragon and made them their own thing.
Yeah, spoiler alert in case you haven't played Heart of Thorns in 2025.
Yeah, we'll be getting to that one in a couple years. Hold on, hold that thought. Hold on to that one. Put it in your back pocket for later.
Right.
Yeah, we and this Yera Swiftsight lady, she's basically listen, the plants are messed up, bro, but don't take it from me. Go do the legwork.
Yes.
And I'm sitting here no, I promise I believe you. And she's like, go do the legwork.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we have to run around.
Yeah. But this one was pretty straightforward, other than we have to run around and find these 10 suspicious shrubs and essentially the trash mobs that are along the way or patrolling.
My main beef with these quests is the number of repetitive things that we have to do. Why do I have to find 10 of these things?
Yeah.
Why not 4 or 5? Yeah, we have to find 10, and it takes forever.
Yeah. I suppose one thing that you do kind of see is that, well, they're covering an area in the Sunward Marches where these suspicious shrubs are, so it isn't like it's just localized to one little area, so it can tell you in go find all of these things, that it is kind of spreading out.
You're paying a lot more attention than I am. You're doing the analytic work. I'm over here just this plant isn't even demonic. What am I doing out here?
Yeah. Well, I kind of liked the one shrub that was it's just a shrub. What were you expecting?
I did read that one. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you click on the ones that are naughty, for want of a better term, they spawn. I don't even remember what the names of these plants are. But they spawn vicious seedlings.
Vicious seedlings.
That's the one. Yep, they spawn.
But
vicious
they basically
seedlings.
Yeah, but they basically have the same kind of skills as like the Iboga and the Jacarandas, I think it is.
Yeah, they're just
I think
plant
they're in
enemy
the same,
reskins.
yeah, same
Um,
models and everything.
yeah, they're not difficult. So we like
Hmm.
roll through 10 of these plants, and then we go back to Mirza, and we're like, there's definitely a demonic corruption, right?
Yeah,
And
and he's like, yeah, I
he's like,
know.
yeah, I know. I'm like, well, you sent me out there. What do you want?
Yeah.
And he's like, what I want is to send you on this next stupid quest.
But what cracks me up is that like after the first quest, right, Mirza's last stand, he then considers us part of the Pride. So we're part of the Centaur fam now.
Does that mean I have to
Um,
eat human beings?
I don't know, man. But I was like, Okay, thanks. I'm glad that we're family now. Thanks. But at least he's not like threatening to eat us.
Yeah, no, he's offering us like a skewered forearm, right? It's better than our forearm being on the skewer.
Right.
Um,
Right.
when in Rome. So the next thing he wants us to do is a quest called Troubled Lands.
Yes.
And we got to go find 10 more things, except this time they're demons.
Yeah. So, did you have any trouble with this quest?
I did, yeah.
Um,
I wonder if you
so
did the same thing I did.
so I was like, cool, I gotta go find 10 things. So I like ran my ass out there. He's like, here, take this seed. And I'm like, yay. And I ran out there thinking that the seed was going to be in my inventory,
How many
not
of
even paying attention.
how many of them did you
I
kill
got
before you figured it out?
no, just one, because I was like, well, where's my next marker? And why I was the wiki telling me to drop the seed on the thing and I'll see a glowy glow. And I was like, but there's no seed in my inventory. So I went all the way back to Mirza, and Mirza didn't have a seed on the ground. And I was like, I'm going to have to rezone to get this. But rezoning didn't help. So I actually had to abandon the quest and then go back out to Mirza, re-accept the quest. Then I saw the sacred seed on the ground, picked it up, and I was like, oh, yay, a bundle item.
Okay, to your credit, you suffered from an actual bug. I just didn't see the seed on the ground and I ran off.
I think it was a bug, but I also think I may have not seen the seed on the ground. So I'm
Well,
not really sure, and I didn't look back at my footage to actually see, so you can tell me after you've edited
no, it
and
must have
put it
been
in the
a
comments.
it must have been a bug because I had to run all the way back and the seed was just laying there on the ground in front of him. So I ran back and had to pick it up. I killed like 4 or 5 of these things before I finally figured out something was wrong.
Well, the thing is that like I didn't even get like the marker for the next ones after the first one, so that I could go and kill the next one. So I was like, where's my where? How come my quest is not advancing?
Yeah, I killed a few because I just saw them around like visually and then I realized my log
Sure.
wasn't updating. I was like it still says
Uh-huh.
10 and my
Uh-huh.
quest star wasn't moving anywhere.
Yeah.
And so then I checked the wiki and I checked my inventory because I was like, well, I got to throw these seeds on the ground, right? And nothing in my inventory.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's when I
Yeah.
realized I got to go back and this seed is probably laying on the ground. And he's got the seed on the ground in front of him. So if that wasn't there for you, then I think your quest actually
Yeah.
was bugged.
Yeah. Well, okay.
But
That makes me feel slightly better.
yeah, regarding the storyline of this quest,
Yes.
Mirza says the corruption is getting worse. Shocker.
Yeah.
Despite our despite our valiant efforts examining suspicious shrubs,
Right.
the corruption is getting worse, and that it may actually spread to the ancestor tree if we don't purify it. Um,
Right. And then he tells us to go and purify the tormented lands. And I was like, "Oh, okay, so we've got to go and purify the land." I wasn't expecting the land to be manifested as a walking around shambling something. I don't know what the thing I don't know
yeah,
how to describe the tormented lands.
they
Um
are the
Other
same
than they're
as
quadrupeds,
they're the same as the stone shard,
stone
storm shard
shark,
crags.
crags, yeah.
Yeah, they're the same as
Crags,
those
crab.
guys. They
Yeah.
kind of look like the turtle guys from Mario, like
Yes.
like giant earth elemental Koopas.
Yes.
The best way to
Oh
put
my
it, I
gosh.
think.
Yeah, that's a very good that's an apt
Or they
description.
sort of look like a pool floaty that's a tube, but it's got like a creature's head on it.
Yes,
Like they look
yes.
like one of those. Um,
Right,
if a evil wizard animated it into an earth elemental.
right.
Yeah, and these ones happen to be named Tormented Lands because they needed a quest NPC, and all the creative people had gone home for the day. So
Right.
someone just yoinked a pre-existing model and named it Tormented Lands.
And I'm like, well, poor land. I'll purify you. Maybe you could return to the ground, which is actually what I'm gonna assume happens after we drop the seed on it, because the enemy model disappears. It goes poof after you do that.
Yeah, they were out of animations as well. So yeah, it just unceremoniously disappears from the floor.
So yeah, the rocks. I think I'm gonna assume, I'm going to take it in my own little headcanon that the rocks sort of dissipate and become sand again and are no longer tormented.
Right. When the 20-year-old game does not give you a satisfying visual, you created it within your own mind.
In your own head, yes.
This is what we had. I would say, kids, this is what we used to have to do, but I don't think anybody under 30 is listening to this podcast.
But you know what? If you were playing this game back when it first came out, maybe you did that too. Or maybe you're doing that now. I don't know.
I'm sure I did it plenty. Yeah, I'm sure I did it plenty. And that is your comment bait for the episode. So if you are under 30 and listening to this podcast, go ahead and comment to prove me wrong.
I basically asked them to do that in twice. So if that wasn't your clue, friends, please comment.
We're
just kidding.
Really laying India on this one.
Thick. Anyways, yes.
And once we get 10 of these done, we come back to him. He says, thanks, but there's more corruption. Spoiler alert. And he's like, I've got more quests for you. Don't worry. He says that the roots of the Scourge are ancient, possibly even more ancient than the ancestor tree. So this is like
Did you just say ancient?
Ankshent. A-N-K-H, since we're Nightfall. S-H-E-N-T.
I would not. Wow. Okay, that's not what I wrote down, but all right. I don't. Okay, great. Thanks, Mirza. Ancient.
That was in the quest finishing dialogue.
I believe you. I just don't remember seeing the K in there, but I believe you.
Oh no, that was me roasting my own pronunciation of the term ancient.
Okay, great.
No, it is a perfectly sound spelling in the quest dialogue.
Okay, great.
I won't put that one on the ArenaNet writing team. That one was all on me. Our next quest he's got for us is called Ancestral Anguish, and it is a difficulty master quest.
It is.
Which elicited a groan from me when I took the quest.
Yeah, I was like, oh crap.
Luckily, it's not that hard.
Nope, it's not.
I don't know what level they're expecting you to do this quest at, but it's easier than the hardest quest in this chain is the first one that starts it. Yeah. What kind of a time did you have with this quest?
So this one also gives you a bundle item. The Sacred Root. So I was smart enough to drop my seed, pick up the root, and I was like, great, another bundle item. And I would like to know why this bundle item even exists.
Yeah, because you don't have to
drop it.
Yeah.
So I have problems with this. Like, why do we need a bundle item that doesn't then need to be dropped in the same way that the previous bundle item did? This one could have just been an inventory item, and we could have just been done with it.
They were writing code, right? And it is 4:58 p.m. and they're desperately hungry, and they've all agreed to go out to Chinese at 5, and they were just like good enough. And they walked out the door. Yeah.
I feel like there was supposed to be something written for the bundle item, and they forgot.
Yeah, because the way this functions, this should be an inventory item.
Yes, there's no reason. So here I am carrying around this bundle, and I was like, I'm just going to drop you because it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, everything about these quests screams like not enough time was provided to whoever was assigned to create this quest chain. Because like the quest trigger to take the initial quest after you do Zed's quest isn't even there, right? You have to rezone to even start this. And then the quest mechanics going forward are pretty jank. The reason Mirza wants us to go engage with this sacred root is that, last quest when he was like, hey, if we don't stop the corruption, the ancestor tree might get infected.
Yeah. So
well, it got infected.
gotten infected, so we've got to like stop these corrupted roots from, essentially snaking their way to the tree.
Yeah, and he's like, it's the infection seems to be worse down south, in the south of the map. Thanks for those directions. Luckily, we have an MMO UI on our side, and we have a quest marker.
Yeah, and they're not just down south. Like,
no, we go all
sort
over.
of, it's south-ish of him.
Southeast.
They're all sort of south-ish of him.
Southeast,
but they're not
west.
like south. So, yes.
Yeah, we kind of do like a
Zigging
cross.
and zagging.
Yeah, like a cross type of deal here.
Yeah.
He says that the evil is spreading, and he also says that the evil spreading rivals the power of the human gods.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you've been like anybody who has been paying attention to the storyline and doesn't know what's going on yet. I don't think I know how to help you.
Yeah, no. So it's like, okay.
Like it quite literally is one of the human gods that is behind all this. So thanks for the information, I guess, Mirza, but I got that part.
Yeah. Unless, has anyone told us? I'm trying to remember if anyone has told us that Abaddon is a fallen god.
Yes, Cormyr did the whole spiel right before we left for how do you say that word?
Consulate.
Consulate docks. Yes. A lifetime of saying consulate. I can't undo it in my mind. Yeah, there's like a, that crappy quest we did where I mean I'd have to be more specific, wouldn't I? There was a crappy quest where Cormyr kind of like exposition dumped a little bit before that mission.
She does a lot of exposition dumping though, so that's kind of like
she's gonna be back with us after this episode.
Yeah, you can blame me for that one. Sorry.
Well, we did find it's not a spoiler too because we did that quest last episode where we figured out she's still alive.
Yes, we did.
And in this quest we're doing. Yes, that was a side quest last episode, and I think we both agreed it should have been a primary quest.
Yeah.
But Miko's on top of that this episode. I went and did something else, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll talk about that very shortly, actually, because this is the last quest in this chain.
Yes.
Basically, we got to go kill some level 24 enemies. I guess that's a big deal. Level 24 enemies in Korna.
Yeah, I guess. Corrupted roots, ancestral buds, and corrupted flowers.
And the termite guys had a cool name, like
infectious dementia.
Yeah, infectious dementia. I was like, hell yeah!
Isn't that great? I was like, wow.
I have no interest in forming a band, but I feel like I have to now to name it infectious dementia.
The poor infectious dementias are only level 20s.
They are, yeah. They're just the sad little termite guys. But man, what an awesome name.
Yeah.
The creative guy stopped back in to like get something out of the fridge and just threw that one in there.
He's like, no, they need to be named that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whoever came up with that name, genius. Thank you.
Yeah. Whoever, ArenaNet Dev who came up with that name, I know you listen to the podcast. Go ahead and comment. Let us know what sparked that bit of creative genius from you.
It was great.
Yeah.
Yes.
That lightened the mood for this quest. There's like 3 groups of these or something.
Yeah. Like there's only 3 of these sprouts that he calls them sprouts. That we've got to kill.
And this is difficulty master for some unknown reason.
Yeah, and so this whole time, because he was like seek out, because the objective in the quest log says seek out and purify the corrupted sprouts, and
which is
go out and find
the most unintimidating name for a demonic presence ever.
I know, like a sprout. That's like the lobies in Final Fantasy XIV. Sprouts, come on, give me something harder.
Sprouts is like a grocery store for fancy people in my area.
On the West Coast, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I know. I had them in when I was living over on that side of the country as well. But so here I am looking for sprouts because that's what the quest dialogue says. And
all you can find is Whole Foods, and you're like, where do I go? All I find
is Whole Foods. It's got the roots, the buds, and the flowers. And I was like, I guess these are my sprouts. But yes. Anyways, not to knock it. No, it was fine. It just the thing that annoyed me about this quest was that I had that bundle item that I didn't have to actually like drop.
Well, and at least with you as oh no, you're on a paragon. I was thinking, oh, she's on a ritualist, she'll be fine. Nope, you're on a paragon now, so you need that spear to be able to even function.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got a couple of chants. And I'm like, well, that's good. I'll help boost my party. And then I got tired. It was too boring. I was like, I'm trying to role play this. And I got annoyed. So I dropped the root and started pew-pewing, and I felt better.
You know, that's a
And I
great
picked up the root again.
that's a great valid criticism of bundle items, is it impedes your role play.
Yeah.
My character would never, right? I would be like, Dunkoro, carry this. Yeah, the bundle item is pretty debilitating for me as a dervish. I need to be hitting things with a scythe.
Did you drop it as well?
Yeah, I dropped
necessary?
I dropped it to fight, and then I picked it up again because I was like, well, I bet I'll have to pick it up and drop it, and I found that my quest log had already updated.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I just leave this behind? Do I need to carry it around? But I brought it around because I figured quest logic would have said your quest log's not going to update. You need to go and grab the thing. So
oh yeah, no, I'm far too afraid of having to run back and get it and run back somewhere. So I lugged it around with me.
Same.
And we purified the corruption, and Mirza is happy now.
Yes, with each. Yes. No,
and
that wasn't what he tells us.
Well, because the ending quest dialogue, like, he hints that there's more to come, but we're, like, not there in the story yet, so he yet again does the thing. Yeah, he yet again does the thing where he, like, drops the, after credit scene for a sequel, and then we don't get to pick up the quest. I looked on the wiki, and we cannot get his next quest until we're, like, well into Vabi.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to remember to come back.
Yes, we're going to have to remember to come back. Maybe our viewers will have to remind us to come back, because I'm not good at remembering to come back.
I would hope, this is just a hope, because I know this is not the way it's going to work out. I would hope that Zed would be like, hey, I got a letter from Mirza. We need to go back.
A letter. That's something. The idea of centaurs sending letters is great.
I mean, smoke signals across from Korna to Bobby probably don't work.
I mean, if we think about it in like is it racially insensitive to think about the idea of the centaurs implementing the Tyrian Pony Express?
Because this is before the pigeon system, right?
Yeah,
That's
we don't
have
the
mail on. We don't have that in Guild Wars 1.
We don't have the gem store yet. Evan Nashblade has not revolutionized Tyria. The Asura have not made waypoint travel yet. So what do we have? We have Zed Shadowhuff. So yeah, I don't know. Leading botanists and mailmen of
I'm just saying
Tyria.
Because they can write. They've got hands. Don't they have hands? They can wield weapons.
They've got opposable thumbs. Yeah.
They can hold a writing implement. That's what I'm just saying.
There's no way Ventari set up that grove without writing a single thing.
He wrote down the Ventari's tablet.
You're right. Yeah, the man has a tablet.
Sorry, but yeah. So yeah, I'm telling you. Mirza can send us a letter.
No one who has famously created a tablet can't write.
That's right.
Changed my mind.
Yes.
To be fair, I think God himself wrote the Ten Commandments and Moses just carried it. What if Moses couldn't write?
Dude, I don't know. No, he was busy tending sheep.
I mean, he does have like the first 5 books of the Bible, so I think I'm shut down on that one.
Probably. Yeah.
But anyway, that was biblical discussion minute. Tune in.
Yes.
Tune in never again for that one. And that kind of concludes our romp with the centaurs this episode.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of centaur stuff. We rescued the whole clan, and then we kind of worked for their boss. I think we're friends.
No, we're not friends. We're family.
No, you're right. He inducts us into the pride.
That's right.
And now
he realizes that not all humans are evil. And then he's shown great kindness to our people.
And then he's like, "Hey, see that corn and guard over there? Could you put him in the smoker for me?"
I'm a little hungry. I need some barbecue.
Yeah, quite literally.
Yeah.
So that brings us. Those were the only side quests we did this episode. That kind of brings us over to the main plot, right around the halfway point of the show. Funnily enough.
There you go.
So I think your mission that you did was pretty lengthy.
It was.
And mine was devastatingly short. If anyone is familiar with the Rylon Refuge mission. But before we did the missions, we
had to
did
get there.
some primary questing.
Yes.
Yes. Our first quest is the mysterious message from Lone Eye. This is available to us right after Codenor Crossroads.
Yep.
What did Lone Eye have us go do?
She wanted us to go and meet. She wanted us to take a letter to meet with a Whispers adept, I think, and to travel. She wanted us to travel to discover the origin of the mysterious message.
Yeah, and I think there is a quest called the Mysterious Message in every campaign.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because when you look this quest up on the wiki, you have to look up Mysterious Message, parentheses, Nightfall.
Nightfall quest, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really short, this message and this quest. They're quite brief. We go over and we have to go to the Jahai Bluffs to the monument set up in memory of the defeat of Palawa Joko.
And it's pretty cool. It looks cool.
Yeah.
And guys, if you want to learn all about Palawa Joko, go listen to the Prophecies episodes. It's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We did it. Yeah. So yes, because Tyria of the Tyria's procession, namesake, he defeated Palawa Joko. So here we are, and we find out, if you interact with the monument, we find out that Palawa Joko was chained and buried in the ground and sealed because they couldn't find a way to
kill him. Because he's a
that will come
lich.
He's a lich, so that will come back. Remember this, friends. If you've not played Guild Wars 2, this will come back to haunt us.
I don't remember a lot about Palawa Joko in Path of Fire and Living World Season 4 of Guild Wars 2. But in traditional fantasy, and I think this started with Dungeons and Dragons back in the 70s, right?
Right.
A lich is made immortal by having a phylactery that is an object that maintains their immortality. If you destroy it, you can then kill the lich. I don't think liches exist in this way in Tyria. I think he's just immortal for free and fuck you. I mean, discounting what happens to him in Guild Wars 2, of course.
Yes.
But he doesn't seem that concept doesn't seem to exist in Guild Wars. And the process of becoming a lich doesn't seem very clearly outlined in Guild Wars.
No.
He's just an undead guy that they couldn't kill, and that's that.
He's got some weird ass magic that keeps him immortal.
Yeah, I want to know more about Palawa Joko. That's basically all I'm saying. Seems confusing.
Yeah. So
But
we might find out more later on.
Yes, we will get to Palawa Joko. Don't worry, guys. For now, we're just literally having a meeting on his grave. Well, he's
pretty much
sitting down there counting sheep.
Hilariously, the cutscene that leads into when we get close to it, we get a cutscene and we kneel, in reverence to the monument. And I'm like, do we even know what this is? I mean, I suppose we know because we're Alonian.
I mean, Cormair wasn't even there to tell us, but yeah, I guess our character is technically Alonian because we I think of my character as being born when I created them, but they're 23 years old, right?
Right.
They lived a whole life before this. I assume they've heard of Tyria Asa kicking the shit out of Palawa Joko.
Yeah. So, but it's cool because then we see the camera pans up and we see this mysterious guy. Look, staring down at us, and he's got Cass's Corsair piratey friend Margaret the Sly standing next to him, and he's telling her they're gonna need our help. And she's like, if they pay me.
Yeah,
and he's like, no, they really are gonna need our help. And she's like, sure, okay, I might help them if they pay me.
Yeah, no, she's pretty and this was how she was in the Ventus Cemetery mission too. Just pretty dead set on the on getting that
Give
cash.
me my money.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a pirate, so yeah.
Yes.
Seems to track.
And one thing I noticed about this episode, and your mission might have had more VO in it than mine, so I'm not sure, but lots of great voice acting this episode.
Yeah.
I quite like Master of Whispers.
Yeah, he's got a cool voice.
Yeah. And I think we mentioned in the Venta Cemetery mission that Margaret is pretty well performed as well.
They are in great danger.
That's not news. Everyone's in great danger these days.
Especially you, it seems.
With great danger comes great profit.
Yep.
Just like massive upgrades to the, like, I feel like after Factions, they like had an emergency meeting. They were like, guys, we have to fix this. Because there's just leaps and
effort.
Yeah, leaps and bounds of improvement in the VO throughout the game. And Margaret and Master of Whispers basically give us a ultimatum, not an ultimatum so much as a dire decision, right?
Right.
Margaret has info on not only that Cormier is still alive, but she knows where she's being held. And if we give her money, she'll help us go free Cormier.
Right.
And Master of Whispers is like cryptically talking about souls and saying that we've got to go kill a demon.
Yeah.
But we can't do both.
No.
So we got Master of Whispers wants to go kill the demon. Margaret wants to go get Cormier. Where does Miko, the Paragon, go?
I basically re-rolled the dice on this one, guys. I chose Margaret. For her quest is for a price. So I go to rescue Cormier. Because that seems like a good Sun Spear would do.
Yep, and I was like, well, that demon sounds really bad. I think we should take care of that.
We should probably go take care of that.
And so I went with the Master of Whispers to go handle that. And my quest line kind of takes us to the conclusion of the whole Milani thing with the Evil River.
Oh, nice. Did you take her along with you then?
No. Well, I did until Master of Whispers was available to me as a hero, and then I was like, Milani, you are out. Master of Whispers, you are in.
Right.
Because Master of Whispers is another necromancer is so much more useful to me than another dervish. And then you got stuck, of course, with Margaret the Sly, and I don't know. What are you doing on Margaret as a ranger hero? What does she do?
I set her up on an interrupts build, which actually was really helpful on the in the mission.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
So what did so when you took Margaret's quest, what did she have to say? Like, how's she approaching this whole deal?
So as you might have guessed, Margaret always has, because she's a pirate, she always has an alternative an ulterior motive. Let's put it at that. So I'll help you, but I need you to help me as well. It's not just cash on this one. She wants to get a diadem that's being held in the
room of
prison.
Requirement.
Yeah, pretty much. And it belongs to somebody called Lady Glaive. And she really wants this because she's a pirate. And she's like, I know where it is. I know where they're keeping it. It's in a vault. I don't know where she's getting this information. She's like, but I know the guy who has a map. Let's go talk to Unlucky Simon.
It's a proper like Pirates of the Caribbean quest here.
Yeah. So here I go talk to Unlucky Simon. Unlucky Simon is supposed to have the map.
That's the last person I want to get advice from ever.
As you walk up to him, she gives you dialogue that pops up on the screen, and she's just like, Simon, what happened to your eye? And Simon is like, so I have really bad luck, and I had the map, and this guy, he knew that I had the map, and he punched me in the face and took the map from me. You have to go talk to Shifty Lem.
Oh, man.
Lem.
Yeah, I don't know about Shifty Lem. Ooh.
I know.
Ouch.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. So you walk over to Shifty Lem. You've got to like trek. Find Shifty Lem, and he's got some of his boys hanging out with him. And they're like, uh-oh. Because, what's her name? Margaret knows this guy as well. And she's like, Lem, I hear you got my map. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have your map. And he's basically like, boys, we're gonna have to like make a break for it. But they turn hostile. and you basically have to kick the shit out of them. Shifty Lem, after you kick the shit out of him, turns no longer hostile, and he's like, just kidding, here's your map. Don't hurt me anymore.
I was so excited. I thought you were going to say that Ruthless Savad took this man's map.
Right? I know! That would have been hilarious.
That would have been so good. But you basically do the same thing to these guys that you do to Ruthless Savad.
Yeah. So you get the map, and Margaret's really happy. She's like, "Yay! Now we can go and talk to
get the diadem of Ravenclaw.
Go get the diadem of Ravenclaw. Yeah. We'll go pick up the next quest. We have to go and show the map. I know a guy. That's what she tells you. I know a guy who can decipher this map for us. And that guy, do you remember in Pogon Passage, did you run across a guy called the Jack of Truths?
Yes, and I was hoping he would be involved in a quest that I was going to do, and it turned out he wasn't. He was just an interestingly named character that I never got to talk to.
Yeah, well, I got to talk to him.
Hell yeah, let's go.
He is the guy who knows how to decipher the map. And he's like, sure.
Well, he has the truths.
Yeah. He's like, yeah. I can decipher it. Yep, it's Gandara, and this is where they're keeping the thing. But the Gandara is kind of heavily fortified. But I have a plan for you. I've got an idea. You can go and take care of some Cornin soldiers that are going to be patrolling soon. If you go and take them out, you can steal their armor and go in disguised as Cornin soldiers, and then you'll have an easier time.
This is not the first time we're killing people and taking their clothes in Guild Wars Nightfall.
Yeah. So we have to go borrow their armor. That's how the quest like says it. Borrow in quotes and everything.
There's no problem you can't solve by killing a group of Cornin soldiers.
No. So they're labeled as unsuspecting Cornin soldiers when you approach them, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
They are intrinsically, like, as a part of their very personality, they are unsuspecting.
Yeah. And so you take them out. It's like a little squad of 5. And you take them out, you take their clothes, and then you get a cutscene. Because you have to put on their clothes. So you get a little cutscene, and another group comes along, and there's like, what are you doing over here, soldiers? And they're like, why are these bodies on the ground? Well, they're just sun spears. We found them lurking around, so we took them out.
And he's like, that guy on the ground looks just like my bunkmate, Lenny.
I know. And they're like, good, well done. Now get back on patrol. You're like, sir, yes, sir.
They're just like, wow, that's crazy. They all look exactly like a group of friends I have. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. So Margaret's like, okay, cool. We better get out of here now before they come back and realize that we've lied to them. And we're like, yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a great idea. So you go back into Pogon Passage to go and talk to the Jack of Truths again.
Is he your mission NPC?
He is your mission NPC.
Nice.
And also your quest reward guy for this one.
Is this the last quest before the mission, or is there another quest?
That was the last quest before the mission. Yeah.
All right. What do you think? Should we? Yeah, I'll tell you about the quests I did.
Yes. Let's hear about them.
Yeah. So back at the monument to Palawajoko, I choose to talk to the Master of Whispers. And while Margaret is talking about, she's talking about like, oh, we need to get Cormyr, right? My plan's better. The Master of Whispers is just standing next to her, like, some souls will pay most dearly, right? Like he's just saying all this cryptic shit, and I don't really know what he's talking about.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I'd better do what that guy says. He's scary. And he tells us that he's discovered a passage to Vabi, but it's guarded by a demon called the Drought. And that this demon lives in the waterworks. We did a quest where we kind of like scoped out this waterworks with Milani.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we got info from one of the workers there that like Varish herself and like General Bale had showed up and were like being naughty in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, we'd better do that. That sounds urgent. So Margaret's gonna go with Miko to get Cormier, and I'm gonna go with Master of Whispers to deal with this drought demon. The next quest he gives me is called Secrets in Shadow, and he describes himself flat out during this quest as a demon hunter. So this is what this man does. And I'm like, well, that's perfect because you said there's a demon.
Right.
And he says it's his job to stop the darkness spreading across the land. I'm like, that's a hell of a job. We are to meet with, quote, an ally at the Dejarin estate. And this is why he's hanging right outside the portal from Codenur Crossroads with Deja, the water djinn. It's for this quest, but it like after you do that mission, they're just there until you do this. Which is funny because you'd think they'd only spawn if you had the quest, but they will spawn as soon as that mission is done. So now I can actually talk to them, and Deja, the water djinn, is like, well, listen, before we tackle this demon, I need to know that you're like demon tackling caliber, right? So she's like, just for you, we captured a bunch of demons. Go kill them. So she like summons these captured demons out of the ground, and they keep calling this a crucible that I have to pass. I'm like, that doesn't sound promising.
No.
And I just have to defeat the demons. They're called droughtlings.
Okay.
So they're like the spawn of the drought, right?
Right.
And they look like the shambling mesas. So those big, big Baba Yaga looking guys.
Right.
Yeah, they look like that. And I murder all of them. It's very easy. And she's like, cool, you're real good at fighting demons. Come fight this bigger demon with us. And the next quest, and this is going to shock you, this quest is called To Kill a Demon.
Oh, no.
And
I wonder what you have to do here.
yeah, it's, we don't kill the demon here, but we kill some more of the little guys. Basically, Deja tells us before we can kill the drought, we have to weaken it. She's going to help us. The plan is to clear out the droughtlings that like defend the perimeter of the waterworks facility, which is like, is a waterworks a dam, or is it simply a facility that they like use the water to do stuff?
I would think it's the latter.
Okay. Because it's never specifically referred to as a dam. It is simply referred to as the waterworks.
Waterworks, yeah.
So I assume it's for like irrigation and stuff.
Sure.
I'm not a city planner. I don't know these things.
Okay.
But we there's like a perimeter of droughtlings, and we kill them. You know, the whole deal. And then and I also ran into a collector here who was sent out there to get Hecate tongues by that one bully that wants Hecate tongues. And I'm like, somebody put way too much effort into this Hecate tongue bully storyline.
Yeah.
And it's very weird, and I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from it. Anyway.
I want to take away that they were up at 3 a.m. writing quote and quests.
I think so. Yeah. I think they were like, well, it can't be too cliche. So they came up with this weird Hecate tongue idea and like ran with it way too far.
There you go.
So once we kill those droughtlings, Deja is like, I know how to get into the waterworks. And I'm like, cool, how are you going to do that? And then there's a cutscene where the Master of Whispers tells us that the drought seeks to, quote, become the river. So it's going to like, I don't know if it's going to envelop the river, if it's going to like merge with the river, or if it's going to, I think the drought itself later says, I'm going to consume the river. So,
okay.
My man's just mad thirsty. We got a dry boy over here.
He's called the drought.
Yeah, he's very dry.
Yeah.
And the Master of Whispers then explains that if the demon bends the river to its will, nothing in Alona will survive because the region like depends on the Elon River, right? So that's why it's so critical for us to destroy the drought rather than go rescue Cormier. I don't know if I buy that entirely. Like we've made it this far. Why can't we just like go rescue Cormier really quick and then kill the drought?
Sure.
Anyway, I don't quite like. I don't quite. I see what they're going for. I don't quite buy it. That's all I'm saying. And that cutscene closes, and Master Whispers is now available for my party, and I am at the Rylon Refuge mission outpost.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've both arrived at our respective mission destinations.
Okay.
How long would you say Pogon Passage took you to complete?
Maybe like 10 or 15 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, I would say the Rylon Refuge mission took me anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
It's the whole mission is just go kill this demon, and the bonus is kill the demon without doing the gimmick, which means it's actually faster to do the bonus than to not do the bonus.
Oh.
So I took that route and I was able to succeed. So this was a very fast mission for me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Why don't you walk us through Pogon Passage? How did that go? What's the deal there?
In Pogon Passage, you have to go and free Cormyr, but you also have to go and get the diadem of Lady Glaive.
Is that the bonus, or do you have to do it?
It is. So the bonus, the bonus is nothing to do with it. You have to get the diadem.
Okay.
It's sort of, yeah, the bonus is, it's like 4 random objectives that are actually really easy to do. Because you're disguised as a Cornin soldier, all you have to do is just go and complete the bonus objectives, which you can do on the way to getting the diadem and then circling back and then going to free Cormyr.
How heavily do you have to wiki to accomplish all this?
I mean, I relied on the map to make sure I was hitting all my points, but you can actually, I think you could probably do it without, because as you're trying to find Cormyr, I guess if you didn't follow the wiki, you could zig and zag and not find where she actually is. You could be like just meandering around Gandhara.
See on the sites, you're a tourist.
Yeah. Yeah, and basically she's out on a little island that is adjacent to Gandhara, and it's connected by a long-ass bridge.
Which is, that is the Bokos prison, if I remember correctly, right?
That is correct, yes. Yes. And so, yeah, so I just followed the wiki. You hit all your points, you follow the wiki pathing, and you actually, it's not difficult, it's just you gotta jog. And even with like fallback on my bar, it's a bit of a hike that you've got to trek around the map. Talking to different Cornin guards and helping some guards against a demon, and then taking the Sunspear prisoners that they were going to be taking to the prison because they got too scared from killing the demon. They thought Varish was going to get mad at them. So you can then take these Sunspear prisoners, who actually then become allies to you, and you have to escort them to the prison, which, hey, guess what? The prison is where Cormyr is, so they just go along with you. So that allows you to fulfill the objective there. So in that sense, it's just talk to this guy, talk to this other guy, take these guys over here. Oh, and don't forget to get the password so that you can get into the prison. Otherwise, you might make the Cordons hostile to you and make things a lot more difficult.
Did you
So yeah.
Did you encounter the Star Wars A New Hope references in this mission?
Yeah.
I think it's just like dialogue.
They're just kind of thrown in here and there.
Yeah.
But I was like focused on like not forgetting the password, right? The cell that they're being transferred to is that the prisoners are being transferred to is cell 1138. I'm pretty sure that's a reference. You've got to like take Zed in, and that's the Chewbacca reference.
Mm-hmm.
Zed gets really pissed off that you want to put handcuffs on him, and so you're like, no, I think Margaret needs to do this, and they're like, no, I think I understand what the player character is trying to do here. Here, just put these on.
Yeah, they do a little Star Wars on us.
They do a little Star Wars, and that kind of helps
Mhm.
make it a little bit interesting. But yeah. So you go and you pick out, you go talk to the guard that is guarding the vault where the diadem is, and what's her name? Margaret basically lies to them and says, "Yeah, Bale told us that he needs the diadem, and you need to give it to us now."
They need to kill.
Otherwise,
They need to kill Voldemort. That's the last Horcrux they need.
yeah. So you better give it to us quick, or he's gonna send one of his pet demons after you, and that is like, oh no, here, take it. Like that's it. Like they don't even ask for proof. They don't go and like check to see if what we're telling them is the truth. They just hand it over, and then Margaret's like, cool, let's get the hell out of here because they're gonna get suspicious. So we're like, yeah, good idea. So we hightail it out again. And then we can go in and free Cormyr. We better take out a couple of groups of Cordan soldiers that are guarding. We let out Cormyr, and that's when we get a cutscene here. We get a cutscene, and out of the prison comes another Corsair pirate. And guess who it is? It's Margaret's sister.
Damn, I thought you were gonna
like,
say
no.
Ruthless Savad again.
No, it's her name is Shahai, and she's just like, sister, you came for me after all. And Margaret is like, yeah, of course, I wouldn't have left you here. No, why would I do that? I'm a good sister.
100% had no idea she was there.
100% wouldn't even care. She just wanted the diadem, but she fortunately rescues her sister, who is a monk. And then out stumbles Cormyr, and before you see her, your character is just like, but Cormyr, what happened to you? And Cormyr is wearing a bandage over her eyes.
I believe
Why?
Varish did say in the consulate docs mission that
Yes.
Abaddon would feast upon her eyes.
That's right. And when we saw that the hunger was gnawing on her head, the hunger was eating her eyes.
Which, can we just give a shout out to the hunger for the level of precision of biting that is necessary for me to swallow what the game is trying to sell me here?
No, it's not like it's going out and scooping the eyes out. No, he was like numbing with and like had to go in with like his bicuspids and everything. Yeah, just trying to get out whatever. Anyways, we roll with it. And Cormyr's like, it's okay. I'm all right. We've got more important things to do. And your character's like, come on, I'm gonna take you back to Ista. And she's like, no, you have to go to Vabi. And she's just like, the what you say? And she's like, we must go to Vabi. You're like, but you're basically like bleeding out of your head. What are you talking about? Go to Vabi. She's like, I'll be fine. I'm okay here.
Cormyr's the real deal.
Just I just need to go a little slowly. I'll follow you. And I'm like, how are you following me? You're not like a ritualist. You're a paragon. But okay. Maybe now your other senses are sharpened and you can just follow our footfalls and know where you are, and you're not going to run into a wall or something. I don't know. Anyways, Cormyr, blind, wearing a blindfold, and yes.
How'd you get out?
There she is. So, follow the path the same way you come. Now all of the people that you talk to get in are now hostile. You got to take them out. And so long as you don't over aggro, especially when you're coming down the stairs to get out of the bridge area, you're okay.
I seem to remember there being an elementalist boss in this mission.
The elementalist boss, and I thank you, wiki writers or editors. I appreciate you telling me to be careful to not pull the boss with the rest of the dudes. So I pulled the dudes, his little posse, whatever you want to call them, and took them out, and then took out the elementalist boss. And here is where the interrupt build on Margaret the Sly just, shone forth, because she just kept interrupting him.
Margaret coming in clutch in her own mission.
Oh yeah. Although, I'm trying to remember if she was shooting him from afar, because she's a ranger and apparently doesn't get the whole target obstructed that you as a player get. and was hitting him and interrupting him. And it was great. And we took him out, and then we walked down the bridge path to where the ship was allegedly moored. And here we go. And so we get a cutscene. And in my cutscene, this is where Cormier is telling us, no, you've got to get to Vabi. I know that there's a way that you can get to Vabi. There's a shortcut. It's a passage at the back of the waterworks of Mankalan. And Margaret's like, you told her about that? To her sister. And she's like, yeah, so what? I took a risk.
The theory here being that in your game, the Master of Whispers has gone and dealt with this demon, so you can just waltz into the waterworks and go through the secret passage.
I don't know. We don't even get reference to a demon here. There's no reference to what the Master of Whispers was trying to do.
Okay.
Yeah, just Shahai, who's called Shahai the Cunning, by the way. She just apparently has told Cormier that there is an old route, an old smuggler's cave route that is going to lead you into Vabi. And you can go do that.
There is indeed, yeah. And it's kind of weird that they don't bring up the other possible path, because one of the characters from the game is taking that path, so they might as well work that in.
Yeah.
Because we escape out the same way after we do my mission, because we're at the waterworks in my mission, and that's where the escape route is.
Now, before I let you talk about your demon and your escape route, I must tell you that we get a cutscene, or in the cutscene, we get the Hunger having a disagreement with General Bale.
Okay, yeah, I think I got this same cutscene.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Or a similar one, anyway.
Okay. So, yeah, because in this one, the Hunger is hanging out apparently in Gandhara and can see that we've sailed away with Cormier.
Oh, okay. So I got a similar cutscene, but not this cutscene.
Yeah, my demon, the Hunger, howled like a dog or a wolf.
It is like an obvious wolf howl that they've slightly edited.
What is that?
A friend of the drought, mourning its passage.
Yes. And Bale is like, what's your problem? And the Hunger tells him the prisoner who was touched by Abaddon. Touched by Abaddon. I guess that is the euphemism for I ate her eyes, because Abaddon let me.
For I had her eyes like over easy with some hash browns. Yeah.
Right. The prisoner has escaped, and Bale's like, oh, those sun spears, let's go after them. And the Hunger's like, no, we'll go after them in time. I know where they're going. And then Bale's like, what are you talking about? No, we have to go do this. And the Hunger's like, I don't answer to you, motherfucker. You need to go and listen to what I'm telling you. I only answer to two people, Abaddon and Varish. And guess what? You're neither of those.
He's like, I only answer to my mom and my dad.
That's right.
You're just my uncle.
That's right, exactly. And so he's just like, you follow me. And so Uncle Bale has to go and follow the kid, who's really big.
Yes. I got pretty much like the Rylon Refuge version of that cutscene. I really like so A, it's utterly bizarre having a human voice come out of the Hunger.
Yes.
B, it's a real cool voice though.
What is your problem, Hound?
The drought is dead. I can feel it in my bones.
Yeah.
But yeah, having it like, it's like, it looks like The Thing from the 1980s movie, The Thing. It looks like a John Carpenter creature. And it's just like talking in this smooth, deep voice like this. I'm very educated and articulate, but I'm also a fucking demon, right? Is super, it's super weird. So yeah, I had that play out at the end of mine as well with some slight variations.
Okay, I want to hear about your variations.
All right, so after we show up at the waterworks with Deja, the water djinn, she polymorphs herself back into like a regular human. This is like her shape-shifting secret thing, so people don't know she's a water djinn.
Okay.
And she's my mission NPC. And she's just like a lady with a scythe. And now I've got the Master of Whispers in my party. So I immediately load up Blood is Power on him, which is just like a sweet support skill that gives your party a bunch of energy regeneration.
Right.
And so he's like in the back of my group cutting his arm open and dripping blood on people. It's great.
That's great.
And Deja basically gives us a little pep talk. She's like, hey, we got to shut them water pumps off to weaken the drought, and then we got to get him. She apparently, again, Master Whispers says Deja knows how to access the waterworks, whatever that means.
Okay.
And so I click the enter mission button, and Deja immediately like sprints off, doing her best to get herself killed.
Oh no.
Yeah, and you got to keep up with her because she will just go die like if you don't watch her.
Oh no.
Yeah, I managed to keep her alive, but there were some close calls here. Because there's just like Cornin guards and a bunch of Steel Fang Drakes just sitting outside.
Right. Yeah.
But what I thought was bizarre was she keeps saying that she knows how to get into the waterworks, and as far as I can tell, she doesn't actually do anything. We just kill the guards and open the front door. Like, I don't know what special thing she knew, but we kind of just killed the guards and walked in. It wasn't rocket science. And so this is where she advises we shut off all the pumps, and then the game is like, but also you get the bonus if you don't shut off all the pumps, and you get 5 minutes of your life back that you'd never have otherwise. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna.
I think I remember doing this mission and shutting off all the pumps.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go with the second option because it's faster and I want to record the show. So I sprint past all of these pumps and I go straight for the demon. Keep in mind there is a debuff on my entire party that's called like Mad Dehydrated or whatever, and it means that I take 50% more earth damage from earth magic.
Okay.
Which the drought and all his droughtlings are earth elementalists, so that's real bad. At some point we there's like 3 gates. This place is like a fortress, and there's like 3 little portcullis gates, and they're each guarded by what appears to be a Cornin, but what is actually a Master Whispers agent.
Of course.
And we show up
infiltrated.
Yeah, and we show up looking like a ragtag band. We look like Peter Pan's Lost Boys, right? And they're like, stop, you can't go through. I'm definitely a Cornin soldier. And the Master Whispers is like, no, you're not. And they're like, oh shit, my dad's here. Right? And so they open the door for us. And we just do that until we get to a big bowl. So this might be a dam actually, because there's like a big bowl that looks exactly like a dam. I don't know.
Okay.
With like a little puddle. It's a very large area covered in very shallow water. Let's put it that way.
Yes. I do remember that.
Yeah, and there's like 9 droughtlings in here and the drought. And as I'm walking up to the drought, he addresses the Master of Whispers. He's like, I will consume water, right? He's doing that sort of thing. And so we got to roll in there and fight this guy with this earth magic debuff. And you can pull the droughtlings separately for the most part, so you can kind of clean them out. But him and his 2 like partners there, you have to fight them together. And I popped all my consumables for this because I've done this before, and I know he hits like a nuclear powered train.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I popped a cupcake. I popped a bunch of honeycombs because I'd already died taking a bunch of droughtling earth elemental skills to the face.
Right.
And then I just went for it, and he did immediately hit me for like 700 damage and kill me.
Ooh.
But Dunkoro resed me immediately, and then I just ran back in, and I like Dunkoro is really bringing it back for me.
There you go.
Dunkoro, the character, not a fan. Dunkoro, the monk, he's kind of pulling it out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He's a dab hand with resurrecting people.
Yes.
So we were able to overwhelm the drought and kill it and get the bonus and do the mission very fast because you basically just run in up the center, kill the drought.
Right.
And then I get a similar cutscene to the one you get.
Okay.
He makes the wolf howl noise. And the Master
And
Whisper.
is it the hunger?
Yeah, it's the hunger.
Okay.
And they're like on a ridge overlooking the waterworks instead of at Gandara.
Okay.
And the Master of Whispers actually says that the howl is a friend of the drought mourning its passage.
Oh.
So these guys were like homies. They like to like get together and talk
Yeah,
shop.
yeah. That's good.
Yeah. I like the Master of Whispers. He's cool so far. And he that's when the Master of Whispers tells me that there's this smuggler's hideout behind the waterworks, and he's like, "Look, and the door is right here." We just waltz on through. It's great. And he's like, "That's going to take us north to Vabi," and then that's when I get the cutscene where the Hunger is up on a hill with Bale, and he basically just like takes Bale to the cleaners.
Yeah.
It's the same cutscene that you got more or less.
Okay.
And yeah, so the Hunger's basically like, "Follow me," and Bale's like, I guess you're in charge now.
Yeah.
And that's how that mission ends for me. So I spawn in an outpost called Madoc Crevice. Crevice.
Yeah.
Not crevasse. Crevice.
No.
And that is our mission that we'll start next episode on.
Did you see who the mission NPC is?
It is Unlucky Simon.
It is. I was like, how did he get over here? And why are you the NPC?
So I didn't actually see the mission NPC, but I remember spawning into the outpost and immediately getting the quest objective, talk to Unlucky Simon.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, it's got to be him.
Yeah. I went and talked to him, and he was just like, "Hey, you made it over here too and know about this place? Oh, okay, cool."
Right.
And I was like, all right, cool.
Also,
do you not want us to punch you in the face again?
I have a feeling that my character is going to anyway.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity on ArenaNet's part in the Rylon Refuge mission for you to come into where the Drought Demon is, and it's just Ruthless Savad.
Yeah.
Ruthless Savad. I like Ruthless Savad. I hope he turns up more. I don't think he will, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where we're at in the story. We gotta slip through Madoc Crevice and get into Vabi. But the Hunger is on the case, and we gotta figure out a way to deal with that.
Yeah.
Good. Like I said, I really liked all the voice acting this episode. It was all like good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lots of good stuff here. Cormier's back in play.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that when the Hunger was taking Bale to town, that he would actually eat him.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Bale annoys me. Yeah, I was like, I feel like you're an upstart and the Hunger could just eat you right here. Why hasn't that happened yet?
I think,
but I feel like it's coming.
I can't remember if Bale gets killed by us or if he gets killed by like a Cormier, not Cormier, but like a Varish demon. I don't know. I think we have to fight Bale at some point. Not sure.
I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
I think that's probably right. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out. Stay tuned, guys, to find out if we get to roast Bale and eat him around a fire with Mirza Veldrunner.
Yes,
it's like
I was gonna say,
like
can we feed him to Mirza and the boys?
Like payback for Cormier's eyes.
I know, right?
Oh
my gosh.
Yeah, content coming next episode, guys. Stay tuned for that. This was a good bit of gaming.
Yeah.
A little weak on the Veldrunner quest chain, but fun missions, I think.
Yeah, missions were fun. I think that what they were trying to do with the Mirza story or quests was the story itself of how what it's trying to like tell you about the land being affected. Like you get it in other places, but here's just further evidence of it. So I get that they're trying to like build that out in the world a little bit more.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's a good world building quest. Like it shows you, it links up with Milani's quest, right? So there's some consonance there. And it kind of fleshes out the whole concept that the land is sick due to this Abaddon thing. So that, I agree with you there. I think what the quests are going for is good. They are just not fun to play, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes. Bundle items are never fun.
Yeah, 0 out of 10 on bundle items. Guys, let us know in the comments if you like yourself a good bundle item. And we will single-handedly identify the ritualist mains out of our listeners that way.
Right, yeah.
Miko, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Inky Sticks on your Twitters and Blue Skies.
They're going back to Twitter, aren't they? We don't have to say X anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I heard they're going back to Twitter.
I mean, it would kind of make sense.
Might just be a rumor.
It's marketing. It's sort of been a bit of a marketing nightmare. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah,
branding rebrand that didn't need to happen. Thanks.
Yeah, that's why we're still Tyria now, even though our podcast is Tyria then, and even though it should be Planet Tyria.
That's right.
Because
That's right.
marketing rebrands are a nightmare. So, guys, speaking of Tyria now, go ahead and hit the follow button or the subscribe button, whatever button that is that makes us go in your feed. Hit that button. Mm-hmm. If there is a corresponding bell you can hit for notifications, press that one too.
That's right.
And if you haven't responded to any of my desperate comment prompts this episode, respond to this one. Leave a comment below as far as what
like,
you think.
subscribe, and comment below. Right? That's how the YouTubers.
Yeah, back in like 2011. That's still how YouTube works, right?
That's right. Yeah, like, subscribe, and comment below.
Remember when we used to ask people to rate? Back in like 2009, you remember rate, comment, and subscribe?
Oh my gosh, no! That's like a memory that I didn't want to bring back. Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, that was like back when we were hitting that like yellow subscribe button.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, do all that stuff, and we will be back with you in 2 weeks. So stay tuned until then, and we'll see everybody later.
Bye.
Bye, guys.